If your mudroom is busting at the seams, or you're just looking for some more ideas to make it more functional, then you are not going to want to miss today's video. Today I'm going to give you a tour of my mudroom and how we organize it for our family of 6. Hi, my name is Meg, and I am passionate about helping busy women live into leading their purpose through making their lives less complicated. If this is the sort of content that resonates with you, then I hope you'll hit the subscribe button and follow along. So today we are going to talk about the workhorse of my house. And it's not the kitchen, it's actually the mudroom. I don't take this room for granted. I have not always had a room like this in my house, and it is truly something that I appreciate every single day. This is one of my favorite spaces in the house, and it is not an exaggeration to say that if it looks like a big old mess, then the rest of my house is probably under control. So while this video is about creating a functional space, it is also a room I have a tremendous amount of grace for. It does not always look perfect. It does not always look like this. However, usually we can put it back together pretty quickly because it is organized and everything has a place. For years, I honestly thought that the answer to all of my problems was a mudroom. I thought if I could just have the cubbies and all of the drawers and cabinets, then my messy house problems would be over. But the truth is that this space, like any other space in your house, needs to stay decluttered. It has a lot of functions that it needs to do. And so it is really, really important that everything in this space have a place and have a purpose. This is not just a storage room. Well, when I show you, you'll see that there are a few things that are stored in here. Overall, one of the biggest mistakes I see in people's mudrooms is when they treat it like a storage room. If you've got another place to say store things like your dog food or your paper towels, it's probably best in another location because a lot goes on in this room already without storing a lot of excess things that don't need to be in here. So lesson number 1 about mudroom organization is to decide exactly what the function of your space is. For my family, it's a place where we come and go on a regular basis, on a daily basis actually. It is a laundry room. It is where our cat litter box is. It also stores our tools and a few other things like winter boots. But overall, that's a lot going on in one space. That's a lot. And so we can't have things in this space that do not contribute to those functions. So if you are trying to get your mudroom under control, the first rule is like everything, it's to declutter ruthlessly. Get rid of everything and anything that doesn't serve a purpose for what your room is intended for. Is your mudroom really the best place to store 20 rolls of toilet paper or 40-pound bags of dog food? Maybe it is, and that's fine. But if it's not, then is there another space that can serve that purpose better? We also have an issue with coats. We live in the mid-Atlantic, and so in the winter we need our heavy winter coats, but for about 9 months a year we really don't need those coats. And so I find that the best thing in our case is we store the heavy winter coats in the basement, and then they live in cubbies during the winter. But we do have a closet in here, but it's not enough to hold everybody's winter coats and everybody's spring coats and everybody's raincoats, and you get the idea. So really think about how, if your mudroom is overflowing, where you can store other things off season. Another thing I actually had to take out of my room was most of our sports equipment. It seemed like the logical place to put it, but we really don't have the space for 4 kids' sports equipment. There's not enough room in here for all the lacrosse sticks and the tennis rackets and the field hockey sticks and the squash rackets. We just had too much stuff, the cleats, the soccer balls, the basketballs. It was too much. So in our case, we do have a garage and we have a space that I can store all the sports equipment. There will occasionally be a few tennis rackets in here, and that's it. But otherwise, sports equipment goes into another space. But really, the rule here is that at the end of the day, it needs to work for you. So now I'm going to take you on a little tour and show you some elements of our space, and maybe you'll get some ideas as well. All right, why don't we just start at the entrance? So every entrance needs to have a mat to pick up all the dirt that comes in from the outside. Next up, we have our litter box in here. If you have a cat and you're struggling with litter, I discovered that a boot tray works really, really well for catching the vast majority of litter. It just fits right in there, and it has kind of a long runway, so that helps. This is where we keep our bags and some travel umbrellas and a couple of golf umbrellas, some extra kitty litter. But bags are a great place to declutter most of us have too many. So make sure you've actually used all those bags in the last year, and maybe consider eliminating some that have come in. It's another great place for the 1 in, 1 out rule. If a new bag comes in, you have to get rid of one. This is an extra drying rack here for laundry, some beach bags pool bags up there. This is our basket for egg collecting. We have chickens, and there's some sunscreen in here. Moving around, we have a closet, and in our closet, if you're lucky enough to have a closet or you're designing a mudroom, just make sure you have room. Just make sure you use every square inch of your closet. I got these great racks from a restaurant supply store. They work awesome for boots and just, you know, things that really need to be in here. And then I can clean easily underneath it. Here's the coats. Like I said, we really don't store winter coats in here. They belong in the cubbies, or off season they belong downstairs. Some extra backpacks, and then we have a stream, so I have a supply of wellies at the top for the kids or any adults who want to go play in the stream. I love having a big sink in here. It actually made me not have to have quite such a big sink in my kitchen, because if I ever need to do something like clean the large turkey roasting pan, it fits in here. Underneath the sink are recycling bags for recycling and the shoe dryer. And then above the sink, I have, these are fleece blankets, and we really do use these. I think I've got 3 or 4. So they're for picnics, or there's a few smaller ones for football games. Some distilled water for things like the iron or the steam mop, where you don't just want to use your water out of your tap. And then we have the washer dryer. And then this is important. This is our zone for anything that has to leave the house. Right now I'm caught up, but a lot of times it's filled with things like returns, or if I need to remember to bring something to somebody at church or take something with me, then I put it right here on this counter. And then as I leave the house, all I have to do is look at the counter and make sure I haven't forgotten anything that I was planning to bring somebody. Here are dog towels and flower arranging books. And then in here we have the detergent. I've got shoe shine supplies, hair cutting supplies, and masks on the top shelf. Up here are just some more, I've got a few cleaning supplies, some Nature's Miracle, and if you know, you know, some vinegar. It's not stuffed though. I mean, I know everything that's up there. That's the key, is that I know everything that's in there. This is fun. If you have a little laundry space, just get yourself a little basket. You know, who knows what's in there. We've got some pens. I always have to have a pair of scissors in here. Some labels. If you find a button or anything random, you can just throw it in there. I'm a big fan of having places to throw things. If you have kids that like to play in the snow, consider putting in a heated towel bar. Really fun. The gloves come in wet. You put them on the heated towel bar. They get nice and dry. And then same thing, we have a heated floor in here. And when they come in and their snow pants are all wet, they just lay them out on the heated floor and they dry nicely. Also great to dry a wet dog after you've given him a bath. The mop and broom, our aprons. And then here, this is one of my favorite parts of these cubbies. You may remember I said I have 6 people in my family, but there's only 5 cubbies. We built these before our 4th child. And what I love though is that everyone has a basket. And so if I find anything on the floor, or I'm cleaning up or anything, or people come in, they can always just throw things in their basket. And once the baskets overflow, I kind of tell people it's time to clean them out. But you'll usually find things like hats, gloves, baseball caps. My daughter's a climber, so you've got carabiners. You know, just whatever. It doesn't matter. Buttons. Let's see. Oh, today is my first Orioles game. So, you know, you'll find fun things in there that don't necessarily always have a perfect home. And then I love how underneath our shoes can go under here, and it's really easy to clean because it's not raised. So the shoes can just come out easily swept and mopped with the rest of the floor. Every mudroom needs a mirror, so you can check yourself before you leave the house. And then up at this cabinet, we have a thing of rags. I've got a thing of brushes, and then some other cleaning supplies going on. And then in this cabinet, I have my Shark vacuum, my stick vacuum, and the steam mop. And again, I did the same thing in this cabinet that I did with the shoes. I didn't have it lifted off the floor. I just wanted to keep it easy to roll things in and to clean them. It makes it a lot easier to clean. Over here, we have, I think it's important to have a tray. This is our tray where we can just throw in all of our extra keys, sunglasses. I don't know why I always find loose change on the floor, even though we don't seem to ever pay with cash anymore. Someone explain that to me. I'm scared to open this up. See, I'm not perfectly organized. This is our battery drawer. And over here is a drawer for things that are leaving the house. Like it's got things like hand sanitizer and tissues and a lint roller. This is for tools. It definitely, I can't wait to get my hands in this and organize this a little bit. It's kind of a hot mess right now, but that's tools. And then this one's really heavy. This one with one hand, this is more tools, more tools. And now if you have a dog and you are creating a mudroom or you have something like this, you can create a drawer and it pulls out, and then our dogs eat right here. And it pushes back in, and then we can store the dog food in this trash can here. Another thing every mudroom needs is a trash can. This is actually the trash can. So definitely get a trash can somewhere in your mudroom if you don't have one already. In this cabinet, I've got my vases. And again, this is something that I have to declutter regularly because I love to arrange flowers, and flowers come in, but you know, there's only so many vases you need. I also really love finding beautiful vases at consignment stores. Miscellaneous household supplies. This would be things like extension cords and command hooks, and then floral supplies for my flower arranging, pet food, cat food, things like that, and then pet supplies. These bins are from Target. So you can see cat brushes and leashes and stuff. These bins are from Target, and they're just wonderful. They're just a great size, and I find them just really easy to use and just slap a label on. And then we've got some bird seed, some more cleaning for the bathroom, and a bucket. And over here, I guess we're back to square one. So that's it. That concludes the tour of my mudroom. I hope that you maybe picked up a few ideas for your own space. That would be helpful. I'd love to hear what you do in your mudroom to make it more organized, because I'm always looking for ideas and anything that can make my life less complicated. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.